Hello, and
Welcome.
welcome to
Alternate fucking
Casuals.
What makes you
Fucking
casual?
It don't matter.
What you know.
fucking
Time is running. All right. Ultimate effing casuals. We are back, baby. We're here to talk the fights. The homies have assembled. Nathan, Isaac, gentlemen, how goes it?
Dude, it's going well, man. I'm enjoying this weather.
Yeah, it's going really well. We've got the debut of a new promotion to tangle with, and so we don't know how long it's going to be around, but it's exciting to get to see the sport continue to grow, and so excited to talk about it.
Have you guys been keeping up with the NBA finals?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've been watching them. It's been crazy.
Yeah, the Knicks are on a run, right?
Yeah, Knicks are in the finals, and then Spurs and OKC are going to Game 5 now, tied up 2-2. So it's close. We'll see. But Knicks, they get some rest time.
The Knicks, they went life and death with the Hawks. It was a 7-game series, and the Hawks are not very good. And then they have not lost since. They've swept their next 2 opponents. And
Yeah,
so,
they've won their
The
last
Sixers
10 games,
and
I
the
think. Yeah.
Cavs?
Yeah, both swept. And yeah, Spurs and OKC are they're in a war right now. I'm wondering how long it's going to go. But yeah, Game 5 is super important. But OKC has home court advantage. So we'll see. But it's interesting. Very interesting finals. Or NBA playoffs.
Man, all I know is that the Suns were knocked out by OKC, so I hope OKC wins the whole thing. Just so I could say at least we lost to the champs.
No, you can't be on Team Shy. Don't do it.
Team who?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's the
OKC.
star for the Thunder, and he's been at the center of the ethical hoops quote unquote discussion. He basically flops every other play, very badly, and it's just a very excruciating way to watch a basketball star just flop his way to the majority of his points. And so, I mean, he's still really good even when he doesn't do that, but he's the bad guy of the playoffs as far as most people are concerned.
Yeah, I really do think the entire nation is sort of behind the Spurs at this point, because I don't want the Knicks to win either. But yeah, I definitely don't want OKC to win, especially they just won last season as well, so I don't want to see a repeat.
It would be cool to see the Knicks get it. They haven't been in. I've been seeing posts online, on social media, that XYZ has happened since the last time the Knicks were in the playoffs. I think it was '99.
Yeah.
That city's getting burnt to the ground if they win.
Yeah,
Not even if they lose. If they win, they will burn it to the ground.
Yeah, I can't have that happen, man. We got torched by them, but I don't want them. And they already got a conference final. I can't handle them also getting a finals win. Yeah, that can't happen.
Usually, the Suns always get torched either by the Lakers or the Spurs. That's usually how it ends up going. So I'm not sure where my loyalties are supposed to lie here.
The Suns they've been in purgatory for the past few seasons. It's been rough for them out there.
Oh man, but enough of the basketball talk. Just wanted to get your guys' takes. I suppose I'll be watching the Thunder and the Spurs, see who comes out on top. But I don't, as the saying in boxing goes, I don't know shit about basketball, so don't ask me any questions. I'm just enjoying what I'm watching. We don't have any boxing to talk this week. However, there is always stuff going on over on that side of the house. So check out the Boxing B-Sides, and we'll get you all spun up on the latest happenings. Into MMA news. We are getting word that Caio Borralho and Joe Pyfer are going to be fighting on UFC 330. So this is a Pyfer hometown situation.
Tremendous fight. That's a tremendous fight. I mean, both both of them are on the way up. Piper just beat Adesanya. Borralho, he had a loss, but he's coming back. I think this is a perfect matchup. Two contenders, younger dudes, sort of new faces. What we think are like the next generation of middleweights in the UFC. I think this is a good fight, and it has title implications. I mean, depending on how things go down, the next few months leading into the end of the year, the winner of this fight could see themselves in a title fight next year.
Isaac, are you gonna go?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go out there. It'll be down there at the Wells Fargo Arena. Well, it's Xfinity Mobile now. But yeah, I'm gonna try to go out there. Especially, I mean, they said Islam's gonna be the main event, and then Borralho Piper. That's a really good fight. I'm not sure what the rest of the card will look like, but those are already two really good fights. I'm gonna see if I can go out there. We'll see if we can get, eyes on the ground over there.
Yeah, need a correspondence live in the thing.
Yeah.
That fight is, if Islam's fighting, then it potentially could be against Michael Morales. I mean, what a fight that would be.
Yeah, it's either him or Ian Gary, one of those two. I think UFC haven't decided yet. I mean, neither have matchups, but we'll see. But either fight is good though. Ian Gary or Morales. Those would be tremendous title fights.
Man, what? I don't think UFC's come through Phoenix before.
Really?
I don't think so.
It's a decently big city.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, they need to get out there. I mean, they're like visiting a ton of cities. Like, they haven't been to Philly in quite some time. I'm sure they'll get to Phoenix at some point, especially because it's like a pretty prominent city.
Yeah, the MMA lab puts out a lot of fighters into UFC.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll get out there at some point. I'm not sure when, but they've been trying to visit like a ton of new places, as of late at least.
Can't believe they've never put one on in Dallas, especially when we have Jerry World in town. Like,
really?
It's always Houston, or they did one in Austin, but they've never been to Dallas, as far as I know.
Damn. Yeah, I guess Houston is normally where they go, right?
Yeah, I remember
Whenever the
Houston
UFC goes
events.
there. Yeah, and that's where was it Derek Lewis? I think they had a few events in Houston actually. But yeah, they need to get out there to Dallas.
They actually have been. That's a lie. This was Pena versus Nunez, UFC 277. I guess they have been out too. That was American Airlines Center.
Actually, I can't remember that fight. It's the rematch whenever she got the title back. Yeah, she torched Pena. I guess, yeah, that wasn't like that good of a card.
277. I think that predates Ultimate fucking Casuals.
It's carbon dated.
Yeah, I think we started in the 80s. Gilbert Burns versus Orlando Montero. This is just going to be a fight on UFC BJJ9. Just wanted to point it out because news is lacking. But
I think that's worthwhile. I'd much rather Gilbert Burns be doing that than MMA. At least, like, I mean, he was like pretty prominent in the BJJ world. I think like he had like won world championships. But there's like you're not at risk of getting knocked out at least. Maybe even in his old age, he can somewhat hang more in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, he can still compete at a high level.
Yeah.
I think Musumeci said Gilbert Burns, like his pick for best grappler, other than yourself, his pick was Gilbert Burns.
Yeah, I'm not too well versed in that like area of MMA, but apparently Gilbert Burns is like crazy in jiu-jitsu. Like he's got a lot of accolades.
New MMA league, Scott Coker. I don't know who that guy is. I just know that he has about 60 million in capital to play with. It's a good amount of money. Tony Hawk is in on the deal.
This is huge, bro. This is the dude. He was involved with was it Strikeforce, like an old MMA league, and then Bellator as well. And like this predates, like especially like Strikeforce, that predates even like my fandom really. But he's like a pretty prominent like MMA figure. From everything I've read, and obviously he was involved with Bellator for some time before they decayed. But 60 million is something, especially a lot of the names that they have, like or a lot of the investor names that they have. Like you said, Tony Hawk's. There's a few, I think, from the Las Vegas Raiders. A lot of their shareholders are involved here. I am interested to see what they do with this. I don't think this is quite like the GFL. Like, I don't think this is a scam. I think this is real. We'll probably see some fights, some events. But yeah, I'm wondering what they do with this. I'm sort of excited to see what they do. It's always good to have competition. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah, it's been really hard for anyone to really break into the market once the UFC really took over because, right, all the big names go there. And right now, the UFC is locking down these huge contracts, like 8-fight contracts. And I think they're doing that in part to, like, make sure that even if a fighter retires, they can't hop leagues, right? They have to stay with this contract that they had. So it's be interesting to see, like, if they are able to pry away talent, and if they aren't, and they are, like, what kind of quality of athlete are they going to be able to get? And then, like, I'm really interested, like, are we going to get, like, a free fight situation initially, like, while this gets up and running? Because if you paywall it and no one knows who's fighting, like, who the hell's going to watch?
Yeah, that is interesting. I imagine they won't start out with a TV network deal. I'm not too sure, but I would imagine the first few fights would have to be free in some way. But yeah, I'm interested to see what names they can get. Like, is this gonna be like mostly regional dudes to start? I would imagine they try to get some big names, or at least like a few, like to headline. But yeah, it'll be interesting. And they said like next year we could potentially see an event. So, that's not too far away.
It's like a little less than 6 months. They were saying they were going to break ground in 2027, from what I saw. The start of a new league, though, I don't know. I kind of feel like what would have been a more prudent move would be to bolster one of the existing B-tier promotions, like take ONE FC and really build out an MMA roster and have, like, you have a little bit of credibility that exists with ONE FC, and they already have a network deal with Prime, so, and they have their own streaming source as well. So, like, why try to reinvent the wheel when you could get a minority stake, majority stake, whatever the case is, with some of your capital, and then sign fighters like you guys were saying? I feel like you don't have to rebuild from scratch every single time.
Yeah, I guess like right now the number 2 is probably just like PFL when it comes to MMA, but I don't know. It just feels like there's already like a negative connotation within the MMA sphere regarding the PFL. Like, I don't know if they want to try something, but like I'm wondering, like the UFC just has such a vice on like anything MMA related. Like Nathan said, it's incredibly hard like to break in to this market. But I would imagine if you got $60 million from some pretty prominent names, I would imagine there's some type of plan that they have, going forward. So I guess that's more so what I'm curious to see. What is their vision? What are they gonna do? Are they gonna try to do anything different, or are they just gonna follow like the same, like the same sort of routine that the UFC does when it comes to like putting on MMA events?
They are going to have to build a lot of... I think there's going to be a lot of parallel with what we're seeing with Zuffa Boxing, where they're signing a lot of people that you've never heard of, but as they start to have more and more events, they start to build... The fighters start to build a bit of reputation. I think, Nathan, what you pointed out was really poignant, was like, what's the platform here? Because if you're going to put it I don't know, like if you try to make your own streaming service, you're going to have a subscription model to offset cost. But who the fuck is going to sign up for that?
Yeah, we got to see it first. Yeah, we got to see it first. And it's like it's a weird time in MMA because, I mean, as we're going to talk about here in a bit, we've got Netflix is dipping their toes into MMA. We have the PFL still. Now we have this new league, joining with Scott Coker at the head. Like, I mean, this type of stuff has also got to, maybe even motivate UFC to put a stamp on their dominance in the MMA, in the MMA sphere. Like maybe I don't know, maybe we see the UFC trying new things or putting on bigger events. I mean, we'll see. We see the White House event this year, but maybe they start outreaching more globally. Could get UFC Spain out of this, or I don't know, but I think it'll motivate the UFC as well to try to make some improvements. At least hopefully.
If the improvement comes in the way of fighter pay, I'm fucking here for it.
Yeah, I guess that is true. Yeah.
Because like if Scott Coker's offering you $2 or $3 mil a fight, whereas UFC usually does like one, it's a pretty drastic difference. But yeah, all we can do right now is speculate with what they're gonna do. Just hopefully it makes some kind of ripple that has bigger effects. UFC Oklahoma City on July 18th. We've got a handful of fights that have been, some are confirmed, some are not. But what I've gathered from the internet, from the bottom up, Chase Hooper versus Mitch Ramirez, Brad Tavares versus Marc-Andre Barriault, Veronica Hardy versus Dion Barbosa, Amanda Ribas versus Fatima Klein, Alexandre Topuria versus Kyler Phillips, Kevin Holland versus Jacoby Smith, Jared Cannonier versus Christian Leroy Duncan, and Dricus du Plessis versus Kamaru Usman.
Man, those last 4 fights are actually pretty good. From Topuria Phillips all the way up to DDP Usman, that's a pretty good card.
Yeah,
DDP Usman's going to be really, really interesting. If Usman is like anywhere near in shape, he is at the perfect position to set up a comeback and make a run for the title. Because if he beats Dricus after a couple years of inactivity, that's insane.
That's immediate title shot, surely, right? Because
with his name
value,
with his name for sure.
That they can do the whole. They can run that. The previous champion gets one more shot at the title. Can he do it? Like they could run that routine. Yeah, it would be huge if he can beat DDP. DDP is young as well. That would be a huge win for Usman. But yeah, we'll see. But that's a good card. Cannonier versus Duncan is a very good fight.
Something tells me Cannonier's gonna get smoked.
He's old, bruh. He's old. It's got to crack at some point.
Well, we've been waiting for him to age overnight for how long now?
Yeah, he had that fight with RoboCop where I thought, I think it was in the first round.
He was
getting
dead.
lit up bad.
Yeah.
And then he rallied at the very end and just beat him back. But you got to think, especially, Duncan is one of those freight train type fighters where he's coming to knock you out. This might be the fight where we see Cannonier get laid out or just get stopped.
I think beating DDP would be huge for Usman to do what you guys are talking about with make another run at the title. The aged former war chief gets a shot, one last shot.
Yeah, if I'm UFC, and Usman beats DDP, I'm on the phone that same night. Can we try to schedule this title fight? Even if Usman loses the title fight, him beating DDP in itself is crazy. considering like how long he's been away from the title. He's older now. His knees have been cooked for years. Him beating DDP, like even if he gets torched in the title fight or retires, like right then and there, him beating DDP is crazy. That definitely adds to his resume.
It is going to be difficult for him to overcome that, just the sheer athletic difference, especially with how he looked in his last fight, where he looked really good against Buckley, but the path to victory was like an intelligent, measured shutout, right? Like, I don't think he's going to be able to starch DDP. I don't think he's going to be able to lay and prey on that guy. He's way too strong. So it's going to have to be like a perfectly executed game plan over 5 rounds, at least I would think.
Yeah, I mean, DDP's big, man. DDP's going to have like a pretty significant size advantage over Usman, I would imagine. But yeah, we'll see if he's got one more in the tank. We'll see it. I mean, we've been talking about Usman, but DDP needs this win too. He's coming off that. I mean, he got dominated in his last fight against Khamzat, so he really needs this win too if he wants to, stay in the title picture at least.
Nathan, is Oklahoma City in traveling distance for something
It
like
is.
this?
I was actually just trying to think if I could see if tickets were available, because that's like, I don't know, 3 hours. I could make that drive.
Yeah, I mean, this is if the card stays together, and they're gonna add some more stuff too. But there's some solid fights in that card where you're guaranteed a good fight, I would imagine.
There's a lot of good stuff on this one.
Yeah.
Would you make the drive to Austin for PFL also on July 18th? This one is headlining is a Costello Van Stanis versus Johnny Eblin for the middleweight title. It's a rematch, and Sergio Pettis versus Louis McGrillen Evans in the co-main.
I bet it would be way cheaper to get into PFL.
Yeah.
UFC would probably cost me an arm and a leg.
Yeah. That main event is nice. A good rematch. I'm still surprised Van Stennis won that first fight, but we'll see if Ebelin can get it together and get the belt back. Pettis just lost not that long ago, right?
Yeah. Lost in an upset.
It's like a very quick turnaround, yeah.
Last 2 bits. The ESPN heavyweight divisional rankings have been released, and I thought it was interesting that they included Francis Ngannou. We'll talk about his fight in a moment, but the placement is what's interesting. So from the bottom up, number 10, Curtis Blades. Number 9, Sergey Spivak. I'm going with that.
Yeah.
8 is Josh Hokit. It's a little funny. 7 is Vadim Nemkov, the PFL champion. Number 6, Waldo Cortez Acosta. Number 5, Sergey Pavlovich. 4, Alexander Volkov. 3, Cyril Gahn. 2, Francis Ngannou. And 1, Tom Aspinall.
That is very, very interesting. And you know what's crazy? Do you think ESPN would have done this if they were still with the UFC?
No,
hell
absolutely
no.
not.
Yeah. I think there's definitely a bit of that involved here, putting Ngannou at number 2. This is hilarious.
Yeah,
I do agree
choice.
with the rankings, actually. I think that's pretty on point.
He hasn't lost. I mean, not as of late. I mean, his last loss was the Stipe fight? And that was years ago. I mean, that was like before he even knew how to wrestle.
And the guy he dominated at PFL was a wrestler.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to tell because the competition drops off a cliff over in the PFL. But I mean, he looks all there, right? I mean, he nuked that poor guy on the PFL card. We'll get to him then in a little bit, but Yeah, I mean, he still got it. If he came over to the UFC now, you'd want to see him in an immediate title shot.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could guarantee you, he would be a top 5, probably even top 3 heavyweight in the UFC right now, like minimum.
Still no chance though. Dana White was asked what his thoughts on the MVP event, and he's like, I don't give a fuck what they're doing. I think that's verbatim. Is I don't give a fuck what they're doing over there. But I thought the rankings were interesting, specifically the Ngannou placement.
Yeah.
And a little bit of a thought experiment. Who carries featherweight once Volkanovski leaves? The options that were presented in the social media post, Movsar, John Silva, Kevin Vallejos, and Aaron Pico.
Dude, I was reading through that, and I got down to the last name, and that actually made me laugh quite a bit. Aaron Pico,
it was an interesting choice.
Yeah. Honestly, I want to say it'll be between Silva and Vallejos. And Vallejos is young. He's pretty young right now, so he's gonna be here, in 6-7 years, maybe 8 years down the line. I think it'll be between them. I think Evloev will lose at one point. I think he might get the title at some point, but I don't think he'll hold on to it for that long. I don't see him having some type of Islam type of dominance.
I think once Volk takes off, I think you're going to kind of see a carousel of champions like we see in middleweight right now, where I think any one of these guys, except for Pico, is capable of winning the title, and I think maybe you'll see at max 2 fight win streaks before the title changes hands, and it's going to be like that for a little bit. Because Volk has lapped the division twice, essentially. I don't know if any of these guys would even be capable of lapping it once. Vallejos has the highest upside, so maybe him, but we have to see that proven out, I think.
Who would you put in Aaron Pico's slot? Because that's a fucking funny addition.
Let's check here.
The only name that comes to mind for me is Lerone Murphy. Losses notwithstanding.
Diego Lopez should be in that list, right? Is he officially moving up?
Well, he has the White House fight, which is
we'll find out after the White House fight.
Yeah.
I think Diego would have to be in there.
What about? We'll talk about him in a bit, I guess. But Arnold Allen?
No, we've kind of seen him up against the elites,
But the issue with Lerone Murphy is that he's 36 now, right? 36, 35. If Lopez stays at featherweight, he's one of those names for sure. His name, you could immediately replace Pico with Lopez. He's one of those names, but
Murphy's 34.
Featherweight. Yeah, okay. So he's not as old. Yeah, like Nathan said, I think it'll be.
You could put Aljamain in there.
True.
He's capable.
He got a good win against the law. Yeah, he looked really good. Yeah, he's only 1 fight away from the title shot. Really.
He was competitive with Evloev as well.
Oh, really? Yeah, that was really close. Yeah. Yeah. I think featherweight will be very interesting. I think we'll see a little bit of a light heavyweight situation, but better. Where just the belt is flipping hands. I don't really see one dude dominating for the next 5 years or something like that.
Let me see. Featherweight. From the top down, Evloev, Lopez, Murphy, Sterling, Yair, John Silva, Arnold Allen. and Zalal at 8. I don't see a name amongst those that stands out as like the most dominant one. Maybe Diego would have the longest win streak of any of them. That's assuming he stays at featherweight. Just my thinking. It's a lot more well-rounded than the others. But yeah, that was it. Anything for the news that I might have missed?
I think you got everything, yeah.
All right. Let me put some notes in here. The social media handle, LVX Media Net. That's where you can find us on everything. Wherever you are listening, if you could hit us with a rating, it really helps. And if you're feeling a little extra opinionated, why not leave a review? And if you want ad-free and behind-the-scenes stuff, go to lvx.be/Patreon. Let's be real. Building or rebuilding credit can feel like trying to open a door that's already locked. You need credit to get credit, right? It's a loop that doesn't make much sense. So, meet Current. It's the key that actually fits into that lock. Current doesn't just help you build your future, it helps you handle your right here and now. Unlike most secured cards that lock your cash away, Current offers a cash advance feature that's available on qualified direct deposits. Because life doesn't wait for your credit score to go up before the card needs a repair or the electric bill needs to be paid, Current loves to give a good head start by putting money back in your pocket. Set up a qualified direct deposit of $200 or more with Current, and you'll get a $100 bonus right to your account. It's $100 just for signing up. No jumping through hoops, no hidden traps, just a path to better credit, cash when you need it, and $100 to kick things off. Go to lvx.be/current and get signed up today, or use referral code LEONARDA798. Think about the last time you enjoyed a crisp apple, a handful of almonds, or even your morning coffee. We owe those simple pleasures to the hardest workers on the planet, honeybees. But right now, bees are facing unprecedented challenges from habitat loss and climate change, and they need our help to keep working. That's why we partnered with Project Honeybees. They aren't just a conservation group, they're a community dedicated to restoring hive populations and connecting us with the hives they save. And the best part is you can wear your support on your sleeve in a literal sense. The Project Honeybees create stunning handcrafted bee-themed jewelry, from delicate gold necklaces to sterling silver bumblebee earrings, and each piece is a conversation starter. More importantly though, every single purchase directly funds the placement of new hives, rescue of bees that are hived in precarious spots, and the protection of local pollinators. When you wear Project Honeybees, you're telling the world that you stand for nature's most vital workers. Look good and do even better. Help us save the bees one beautiful piece at a time. Go to lvx.be/bees and use the discount code LEO33862 for a nice little discount. That's lvx.be/bees. Be the change. Foamy. Into the recaps. Friday, May 15th, One Friday Fights 154. Hell of a card. In the inner circle, the paid portion, we had some solid ones. Abdullah Dayakayev beats Superlek by split decision. I think Superlek had a cold or something because he was just not firing on all cylinders. Cade Ruotolo stops Hiroyuki Tetsuka in the second, and Anatoly Malakin reclaims his heavyweight title, knocking out Umar Khan in the fourth. Another one, Umar Khan, maybe he had a cold or something, but he said he had a shoulder dislocation sometime before the fight. So maybe that's what... It wouldn't make sense that he was gun shy. That's what would make him gun shy. I don't know. Moving up into the regular portion, just a few that stood out. Maheswan stops Ong Tunbo in the second. Good stuff. Elvin Mamadov stops Sanit in the second. And the main event, Samingdam beats Yod Pupa. Damn. One Fight Night 43. Just the main event. Tang Kai stopped Shamil Gasanov in the fourth. That was the featherweight MMA title. The weight classes over there, featherweight, we know it as 145. For them, featherweight is 155. It's a little weird, but Saturday, May 16th, UFC Vegas 117. In the prelims, I have a few that stood out to me. Alice Ardelian submits Poliana Viana in the second. I remember that being a good submission.
It's a weird one too.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It looked very weird. Apparently, it was like some type of like calf slicer submission, but she like put herself in it or something like that.
She got the body triangle on from the guard position, and then Ardelian shifted her hips and put the foot on the outside of her hips, and then used that as leverage. It was kind of funky.
Looked very weird. Yeah, that's tough.
I think they said that was the first time that's been done in UFC history.
Yeah, I've never seen that happen. Yeah.
I've also never seen anyone do a triangle from guard.
Yeah, squeezing very, very tight in the bottom. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Cody Brundage stops Andre Petrosky in 2. That was a good one. And last one that I highlighted from the prelims, Tommy Gant stopping Artur Minev in 2. In the main portion, pretty much the entire thing is worth mentioning. Chaos Williams stopping Nikolai Veretennikov in the first.
It's a good little scrap. He was getting outboxed to start with. But Chaos Williams, man, he has power. He's got real power. Yeah, that was a pretty good fight. It was fun while it lasted.
Bernardo Sopai submits Timmy Kuamba in the second. Modestas Bukauskas split decision over Christian Edwards. Juan Diaz submits Malcolm Wellmaker. Man, every time I pick a fucking like prospect, he ends up losing.
He looked very good, man. I'm not sure. I mean, his last loss was, I guess, a little bit Ethan Ewing or something like that. But that dude has gone on to like get some pretty good wins, and he looks pretty sharp. And now this is his second loss now. Juan Diaz looked pretty good. But man, Wellmaker he couldn't get anything going in this fight, like at all. Like striking never got going, and then ultimately ended up getting submitted. I mean, he got hurt a few times in that fight. Yeah, I mean, we'll see if this Juan Diaz dude goes on to be a name in the division. But 2 losses back, especially back to back, it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign for your career.
No, I mean the hype train is derailed. Like we're in the desert now with Wellmaker's hype right now.
Train's on its side.
Lawrence
Smoke
of Arabia
fire in some cars. Yeah, damn.
And the
every dude be back,
closing
man. In. We still got Peyton Talbot though.
Duho Choi stops Daniel Santos in 2.
This was a good fight.
Yeah, I
thought Choi was cooked. And then, he landed a nice shot on Santos. I mean, hurt him real bad. Yeah, this was a great fight. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. This was a very fun fight. That's two. That's like back-to-back wins. I know. They were saying like he had been out for some time prior to his last two fights, but like his last two victories are very good wins. And Daniel Santos is really good. He's 14-3 now. But he passed eye test. Santos did, and Choi passed it as well. Yeah, we'll see what they do with him. But UFC they're looking for those Asian fighters at the moment. They're trying to really break into that market. So we'll see what they do with him next.
Man, I wonder what they do with Melquizael Costa, because he got taken to school by Arnold Allen. Like you were talking about, Wellmaker not just not able to get anything going. Same shit happened with Costa, beaten to the punch. Couldn't get he was. I think on paper he's the superior grappler, but he couldn't get himself into a position to employ it. So Arnold Allen.
Yeah.
So I know we have the term gatekeeper for like the guys that are hovering around 14, 15, or 16 in the rankings, but what do we call someone like Allen who is a real skill check before you can hit the top 5? He cannot hold a ranking greater than 4 or 5 for any amount of time, but he is if you do not get past this guy, you're not amongst the elites. What's the term we use for that? Or is it just, I don't know, gatekeeper,
top shelf gatekeeper?
I don't know.
Gatekeeper plus.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know of any other term besides a higher end gatekeeper, pretty much.
That's the thing. He's fought killers. All of his losses are to really good fighters. The true elite. We're talking about Max Holloway. Was it John Silva? Was it Evloev? Was Evloev one of those fights as well? I don't remember, but I mean, yeah, he looked really good in this fight, but he can't seem to really break into that top 4, top 3 ranking. But man, he looked good in this fight. I mean, I'd say it was a near domination, pretty much. Costa, I mean, like Leo said, he got nothing going at all. I mean, he was getting outstruck on the feed. Allen was using his kicks pretty well to just change up the tempo. I mean, Costa looked so uncomfortable in that fight. Yeah, it's a near masterclass for Allen. But yeah, he's sitting ranked number 7 right now. I would imagine he has to defend his ranking again. But it'll be interesting to see who they match him up with. And Costa, the win streak has been broken. He was on 6 wins in a row. The win streak has snapped. But yeah, it was a good fight from both. Pretty high level. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do next.
3 that I got: Silva, Evloev, Holloway, and I'm still looking for the 4th.
Oh, for Allen's losses?
Yeah, for Allen's losses.
Yeah.
But yeah, his loss record is a who's who. I think on the boxing side, the joke is gave it a go. Is that Arnold Allen here?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say so. I mean, his fight with Max Holloway is pretty interesting. He got outstruck pretty much the entire fight, but I mean, he had some moments. Yeah, he just can't seem to break through. And I mean, you're getting older. He's taking damage, so it's not going to get any easier. Especially as time passes on. But I mean, we'll see if he can, maybe get a win against one of these names. Honestly, what I could see them doing is scheduling Allen versus Vallejos at some point. See if they'll move him up the rankings.
See if Vallejos is the real deal.
Yeah. I mean, because like you said, if you can't beat him, I mean, you're not moving up.
That would be a really awesome fight.
Yeah, I mean, that would be pretty much like a striking fight only. I have no idea what Ortega is doing in these rankings still. But yeah,
Allen's first loss was in June of 2014, and he did not lose again until facing Max Holloway in April of 23.
He was on a big streak.
That was
There was
back
a lot
in
of hype
Cage
behind him.
Warriors.
Yeah, there was a lot of hype behind him coming in. Yeah, he got. I remember that Max Holloway fight in the very end. They like stood toe to toe, and Allen got like super rocked, like as the bell went, or the final bell went. He got outstruck, but it was a pretty fun fight. Normally, that's what you get with Allen, though. Like you sort of know it's going to be a decent fight at least.
It's like he doesn't excel at any one particular thing. He's just really well rounded, and I hate to use the term, but I think it's applicable. Where he's like a higher end gatekeeper. His skills, like his well rounded skill, like his skill floor, is good enough to beat. Like Melchizael's a bit of a specialist, and like the skill gap was too big.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably a fitting term. Like a high end gatekeeper, where he's like on the cusp of being like towards the top of the division, but he just can't break through.
Yeah, his skill ceiling is a little bit too low to be in like the title contention level.
They've given him a few chances too. Like, I mean, they give him Max Holloway, they give him John Silva. That's why I think like his next fight will probably be like once again like defending his ranking. Like I doubt like his next fight will be, taking on this top 5 dude or like anyone in that sphere or that part of the rankings.
Anything more for Vegas before we go to MVP? All right, MVP MMA number 1. Really quickly, just to get them out of the way, Brandon Jenkins split decision over Chris Avila. Eileen Pereira gets a split decision over Jade Masson Wong, and David Ngoyan UD over Albert Morales. Starting at the shit that I kind of want to talk about, Jason Jackson knocks out Jeff Creighton in the first. I thought it was cool.
Yeah,
I like Jason Jackson.
Yeah, it's a good showing from him.
Adriano Moraes, technical submission at the end of the final round over Fumi
Controversy.
Nikuta. Yeah. So
this fight had a lot of controversy.
If you didn't see it, what happened is Moraes had Nkuta in a choke going into like the last very final seconds. The horn or the bell, whatever, went off to end the fight, and Moraes lets go, but Nkuta is like dead. He's out. So by California rules, that's a technical submission.
Yeah. It looked very weird though, because what was it, like the bell sounded and he kept holding on to the choke.
He held on to it for like a split second too long.
Yeah, and it looked like he was awake like just prior to it. Like if he would have let go at the bell, maybe he would have been awake. But it's like that last little bit potentially is what made him go to sleep. And a lot of people were saying that the other dude was up on the cards, potentially 2-1. So, he was pretty upset after the fight, saying that, it was a little bit dirty, sort of robbed him of the win. But, I mean, he was out. But yeah, I mean, the controversy part was like, he should have let go at the bell, and the ref should have made him let go. But yeah, did not go that way, and Adriano gets the win by submission, technical submission. That's a rare one.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
Buzzer beater.
Namo Bazil submits Jake Babian in 2. That capped off the prelims. In the main portion, starting us off, Robles de Spain knocks out Junior Dos Santos to the surprise of
This fight. This fight was straight senior abuse. It was bad. I mean, like,
crazy.
Every bit as bad as JDS was at the end of his career, he was even worse. And I mean, he, like we kind of predicted, I mean, he was like paper mache out there. He got touched like once or twice, and he was gone. He was on another planet after that.
Dude, he tried to wrestle as well, and he couldn't even get that going. Like, he was clearly on some type of like steroids as well. He had like some crazy physique for his age. But man, he got knocked out brutally, man. I mean, they need to keep this dude away from the gloves, keep him away from the cage. No more fights. He's been knocked out, I think, a few times in his last few fights. Brutal outing for JDS, but Despain gets the win. I would imagine they bring Despain back onto one of these Netflix cards, or at least the MMA or the MVP cards.
I think Despain is signed to Karate Combat. For like,
yeah,
I'm sure MVP can like buy him out if they really wanted to, but
yeah, I mean,
I bet those other promotions though aren't too worried about, like, they would rather sign a contract that lets a fighter be flexible than risk not getting them at all. And so I bet he's able to kind of just do what he wants.
Oh, he can float if he needs to, or if he wants to, rather.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would imagine they get like some type of payout as well, like Karate Combat does, if he's under contract with Spain, at least like somewhat.
Yeah, like on the boxing side of the house, before Top Rank had a deal, they would let their fighters go off and go on and conquer wherever you can, wherever it gets you paid.
Yeah,
and they just get a taste of it.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people on this card were, like like Moraes, Jason Jackson, Eileen Pereira, Despain. I mean, a lot of them were coming over from different leagues.
Junior Dos Santos. Dude, he's 42. Rip. I thought he was legitimately older than that.
It's because he's been like, this is not his first time getting like slept bad. I mean, I don't know exactly how many of his last few fights, but he's been knocked out like in crazy fashion. Like his last few outings, like he's stacking them up, and then he took a lot of damage as well. Like even in his in the prime of his career. So I mean, all that damage adds up. That's probably why he looks older than he actually is.
Yeah, you really do hope that whatever MVP paid him was enough to never fight again. Like, that has to be a retirement check. You need to get out.
I got to check that shit out.
Do you think MVP MMA #1 was that the MMA version of the enhanced games?
Oh,
a little bit.
No testing, so if you want to,
Oh, I wish we did actually know who was and wasn't on gear, because just an aside on the enhanced games, there were a couple events where guys did no steroids or enhancements whatsoever, and they won their event outright.
One of them was a swimmer. He was like a qualified Olympian. And so the thing became like, this is a dude who dedicated his entire life to swimming in this one particular fashion. And just because you took some gear, that doesn't make you a better swimmer. Perfect.
Dude, I got
technique
curious
versus gear, I guess.
I got curious here, and I went on to Junior Dos Santos's, like, his fighter page. So he's got some wins sprinkled in here, but his last 9 losses are by knockout.
Who is licensing this?
His last 9 losses are by knockout. And like Ngannou is one of them, Rosenstruik is one of them, Gane is one of them.
Oh, the Ngannou knockout was so bad. He just
It's
folded
bad,
on that
yeah.
one.
Stipe was one of them. Overeem was one of them. Yeah, I mean, he's getting knocked out by dudes with like some pretty significant power. Yeah, he's got to hang him up. I mean, it's got to be over.
Moving up, Saladin Parnasse stops Kenneth Cross in the first. So that was fun.
Wow. Yeah, we spoke about it a bit. I'd never seen Parnasse fight, but I had heard a lot of things about him. Man, he looks good. He looks really good. Some nice defense. He's pretty fast. Good reflexes, and then his striking. He like even when Cross was hurt against the cage, Parnasse was like varying his shots a ton. Going down to the body. I mean, putting really good combinations together. He defended takedowns pretty well. I mean, he looks good, man. I think this is definitely someone I'm going to try to keep an eye out for. And I sort of hope if MVP does more cards, that they bring him on, because, I mean, that fight was fun.
Saladin Parnasse. Who is he signed with?
It's the Polish league, KSW.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, so that's why I've never seen a card, because I've actually never seen one of those fights at that organization.
Yeah, I would have thought he'd be in the Octagon. I think that's the biggest promotion, like regional Europe promotion.
Yeah, that's
Or
like the German one, yeah.
Europe. Yeah, because Cage Warriors is in the UK. But Francis Ngannou knocks out Felipe Lins in the first. That shit wasn't competitive.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's hard to tell and really gauge the performance just because Ngannou is so good. He's probably the second or third best heavyweight in MMA across any organization. But, I mean, he's still clearly got, the things that made him great. I mean, he still has a touch of death. He didn't even hit the guy cleanly. He kind of clipped the top of his head and he went out. I mean, there's very few, guys that can do that. And I mean, I really do hope that somehow, some way, like, we get to see him fight someone he should have. So John Jones is at this event, and he's been talking about, like, now, of course, it's John Jones. We can't take anything he says at face value, but just the idea that if Jones somehow got out of his contract and fought Ngannou on an MVP card, I mean, that would be an event that, I mean, you could put that head-to-head against any UFC matchup today, and the MVP card on Netflix might outsell it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Ngannou did a crazy job. I mean, we knew he was going to beat Lins going in. But like you said, I mean, that type of power he has is just, like, catastrophic. It really looked like Jones wanted to, like, he wants to come over. I mean, he even spoke about it. He spoke about it, during the event. And then afterward, he put out some videos on Instagram and from stuff I saw online, where he was even saying, like, the Netflix production was way better than it was better than UFC. He liked the way they did things. He was talking about, they need to figure out a way to get out of his contract. So it seems like he wants to do it, but the thing is, I just don't see the UFC letting him go. Even if he, like, really wants to get out, I don't see a way for him to come over.
I think who's the CEO of MVP? I forget his name.
Nikisa Badarian.
Nikisa. He had said publicly, like, we'll pay John Jones, like, pretty much name your price. There is no number that we won't sign.
Oh, that fight would do huge numbers.
Exactly.
On Netflix. Like, huge. I mean, we're talking about, like, probably 20 million plus for peak viewers. I don't think it'll be like the Jake Paul cards, just because boxing normally does get more viewers than MMA, but it would do really really big numbers on Netflix. I mean, that would be, if we're talking about fights that MMA fans want to see, that's like at the top of the list. We've been wanting to see that fight for years at this point.
Oh, fights that we wanted to see? Question mark. Mike Perry stops Nate Diaz in 2. That shit was fucking sad.
Nate Diaz is so old, bro. He
is done.
It looked bad. Yeah, it looked bad. I mean, he's been out of the fight for so long too. Those body shots are really getting him. Yeah, Mike Perry just like sort of steamrolled him. He's been more active. He seemed like he was stronger as well. Nate Diaz was getting the jab out there, but that was pretty much about it. He didn't really land anything else. Yeah, he got steamrolled. He's talking about a rematch, but come on. I know they stopped it. They were trying to say like, oh, the fight got stopped because of the cut. But I don't know, dude.
That was a mercy.
He was not looking.
He was
not looking. Yeah, he was not looking too good in that fight. I'm not sure if that would have went the distance, to be honest. But his durability is crazy, though. I will say he was getting lit up, and I mean, he was still hanging on.
Yeah, I mean his skin is the same tier of quality as Junior Dos Santos's chin these days. Like, he has so much scar tissue. Like, he gets jabbed hard enough and he'll start leaking. Like, I can't remember seeing a Nate Diaz fight recently where he wasn't bleeding all over the place. Like, he definitely should be hanging him up. Like, he doesn't have the same kind of CT. I mean, he's been in some wars, but like, I mean, the guy's got like serious paper skin. Like, he's gonna be, staying on the floor after the end of every first round.
Yeah, it's sort of hilarious. Like, I mean, he just, I mean, at this point, it's not a matter of like, if he'll get cut. It's just like a matter of when. Like, I'm sure someone out there probably had like a stopwatch, like timing, until the first time they saw blood coming out of his face.
Kalshi has odds on when he starts bleeding.
Yeah, probably. I would imagine. Yeah. But yeah, it's. I don't think they should do the rematch. The only fight I could see Nate Diaz coming back for that I think would be worth it would be Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor, the trilogy, and it's one of those things like, we'll see what Conor McGregor looks like, but they're both older, definitely past their primes, and that would do like huge numbers as an MMA fight on Netflix. That's really the only fight I'm interested in seeing him in at this point.
Are you interested in the rematch of Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano? Submission in the first minute. Man, what a fuck. I don't have any words for this. Like, what a waste of my time. I guess the rest of the card was good, so maybe that's too harsh of a statement, but this fight was a little bit underwhelming.
I know we talked about.
Is it really that? Or go ahead, Isaac.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I know we talked about it. Like, it would be very funny if if Rousey somehow found a way to lose it. But I mean, this is what her strength was. This is what she was doing in the UFC. Like, just taking down somebody and then immediately like hopping on that armbar. And I mean, I was thinking she was gonna try to like, make a show out of it, because I mean, she should have won regardless. I mean, Carano's been out of MMA for like 17 years at this point. I was thinking she, let's let it go, at least a few minutes. But damn, bro, immediately hopped on it. And the fight was over. I mean, the fight was over like immediately. I think I looked over at my phone for like a second, and then she had her on the ground. Yeah, I mean, it's not great entertainment, I will say.
Does it really deserve that harsher words though? Because like, if we I mean, I guess we have tried this to drag Mike Tyson out of retirement, and he knocked out some guy in like 10 seconds. That'd be the coolest thing ever, right? Even if it's old and like, yeah, his opponent was like no one that adds anything to his legacy. It's still kind of cool to see, an old icon, get one back. And, Ronda, for all her faults, like, was the pioneer for women's MMA. Like, she really made it like a thing. And I mean, this is what she did, right? She would rip people's arms off, right? And so we get to see that one more time, and I'm like, I can't hate that much. It's what I kind of hoped I would see, right?
Yeah, you might be right here. I think so. We did get to see one last hurrah out of Ronda Rousey. I kind of hoped that the wrestling would play in a little bit, the pro wrestling, and kind of make a show of it. But I guess what more could you ask for? Toss, armbar. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
the only thing that would have been better would have been Rousey somehow throwing the fight and somehow finding a way to lose, because that's like there's a morbid curiosity to watching that play out, just given how she's reacted to losses in the past. But like, this is the more feel good story, is her just at least reminding people, like, forget all the drama. Like, she was like a real fighter that actually did legitimate stuff at one point.
Yeah, she ends on a win. She said she's not going to come back. Like, she wants to have more kids. It seems like she was pretty adamant about that. But yeah, I mean, she secured one final bag. They set the record, I think, for the most viewed fight in the United States for an MMA event, maybe even globally. I think was it like they averaged like 12 million and then peaked at 17 million viewers. I mean, I'd sort of say it was a success for the first MVP Netflix card. I am wondering what they're gonna do in the future now. But yeah, it seems like Rousey won't be coming back.
Anything more for the MVP card? All right. If you want to join us in the chat, we get together on fight nights. It is pretty boxing heavy, like the chatter and discussion, but there is a specific MMA room, lvx.be/discord. Oh, I want to hear what you think about the fights. 833-589-7637. Easiest ways to hit me up in WhatsApp. What did you think of Ronda Rousey fucking just wrecking Carano? Or Ngannou? What did you think of his really quick stoppage? 833-LUX-PODS. And if you want what I would call a very solid and very complete MMA calendar, lvxmedia.net/MMA. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. After spending 6 years in the military and throughout my life since, I've tried my fair share of energy drinks. All the different brands, all the different flavors, and it took some time to find a favorite. But if you're looking for an alternative to the energy drink jitters and skipping the morning trip to the coffee shop, then you need to try Dubby. Dubby is a powdered energy drink that replaces other caffeine beverages. It contains 0 maltodextrin, 0 fillers, 0 artificial colors or dyes, and no proprietary blends. The star of the show is the coffee fruit extract, which helps with focus without the jitters or crash. Go to lvx.be/dubby and check out all the different flavors. I got Tiger's Blood. It's like a strawberry coconut kind of mix, but I'm definitely going to be sampling the catalog to find the flavor that I like best. We've partnered with Dubby to get that locked-in feeling that helps us focus on what we do best. Whether you're getting dialed in for work or getting dialed in for Saturday night fights, let Dubby be your fuel. Go to lvx.be/dubby to shop the flavors, get yourself a nice discount, and help us out in the process. That's lvx.be/dubby. Is there anything worse than that nagging suspicion that you clicked on the wrong thing? We use our devices for everything now, for banking, shopping, connecting with friends and family, and it's stressful to have to constantly worry if your data is safe while you're just trying to live your life. Good security shouldn't be complicated, and it definitely shouldn't slow you down. That's why I'm excited to tell you about Malwarebytes. It's the next generation of security designed to give you complete peace of mind without requiring a degree in computer science to use it. You just set and forget. With Malwarebytes, you install it once and it just works. It provides top-tier protection against malware, spyware, ransomware, all the hits, all the big ones, all the nasty stuff. And it even cleans up existing infections and optimizes your device. It's like having a security expert monitoring your devices 24/7. I spent nearly 20 years in the IT industry, and I trust Malwarebytes for all my security needs. Go to lvx.be/mwb, shop the different subscription tiers. You got single devices or family plans. You can look at their VPN option and ad blocking. Try it risk-free today. lvx.be/mwb. Get yourself a nice discount and help us out in the process. All right, it is a light weekend. Coming up, we have Friday, May 29th, One Friday Fights 156. This will be free on YouTube or the 1FC site. I'll stop talking about them when they stop making them. And Saturday, May 30th, UFC Macau on Paramount Plus. The prelims is full of a lot of people I've never heard. Oh, Ray Suruya. I've heard of him. Is he? That name has changed. Ray Suruya is not facing Jesus Aguilar. Jesus Aguilar got cut. But I don't know. I don't know if there's anybody else. Angela Hill in the prelims.
Still going strong. Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty
this
much
is
the
a
name of the prelims. Yeah.
This is a regional card if I've ever seen it. A lot of new names.
I mean, that's what they're going for, I guess. Like trying to put some like hometown or somewhat regional names.
Actually, there's an interesting. The Angela Hill's opponent, Jingnan Chong, is she was the 1FC MMA champ, and she got released, and this is her debut in UFC. So, that'll make me want to watch that fight. Being the one FC fanboy I am. But into the main portion, Alex Perez versus Sumu Derji. Muslim Salikov versus Jake Matthews. Kai Asakura returns to bantamweight. He'll be facing Cameron Smotherman. Sergey Pavlovich versus Taliesin Teixeira. Zhang Ming Yang versus Alonzo Menefield. And Song Yadong versus Davison Figueiredo.
The Teixeira fight with Pavlovich, I mean, that's going to be a pretty darn good fight.
Should be a
Taliesin
knockout, right?
had that hiccup. It should be. Pavlovich hasn't been knocking people out lately. I think he might have lost his step, but you know, Teixeira, he kind of got tripped up recently. But I mean, this is if he wants to reassert himself, this is the time to do it. If you're able to stop Pavlovich.
Yeah. It's a decent heavyweight fight. I mean, considering like the condition of the heavyweight division, I mean, this fight sort of means something. I mean, at least for like that mid-tier ranking at heavyweight. I think Kai Sakura versus Cameron Smotherman is good.
That's my pick
to
undercard.
Yeah, that's a badass fight.
Asakura, he's on a two-fight loss streak. He lost to, I think it was Tim Elliott in his last fight or something like that. Yeah, he's got to get a win back. I mean, there was a lot of hype behind him. Got a title shot pretty much immediately. You know, we'll allow the Pantoja loss just because, I mean, it's Pantoja, but the Tim Elliott loss was not good. But let's see if he can get it back versus Smotherman here. You know, I won't say like his hometown, but you know, he's in that Asian region.
He's also moving up in weight. He had said that he had cut down just to for UFC, but he's moving back up to his like natural weight. So we'll see if that makes a difference. I think it will.
Yeah, the Zhang Ming Yang fight and Alonzo Menafield, that should be a knockout as well. Considering both of their fighting styles, that should be a knockout. But yeah, prelims I think are at 1 a.m. Let me check my time. Hold on. Okay, so the main card starts 7 p.m. my time. No, 7 a.m. my time. Rather. Yeah, I mean, I'll wake up for, like, I guess some of the main. Just for those last few fights. Some of them are probably going to be good.
Man, the Paramount Plus deal makes it so easy.
Yeah.
There's way more the feature I like is being able to see the individual fights as they complete. And so you, without getting any spoilers, you can go through and find the ones that clearly didn't make it the distance and be like, oh shit, I'm going to watch this one. And then you can see the ones that are like, it's a 20-minute video and you're like, yeah, this is probably not, probably save this one for later after the exciting stuff.
Yeah, whatever I miss, if I miss any of the top fights, I'll replay. The replay function is pretty good on Paramount. But yeah, we'll see if I can catch like a few of them on the main card. Hope some of them should make for some fun fights. And then Song versus Figgy, I gotta imagine Song wins that one. Figgy's looked his age, his last few outings. What was Song's last fight? I remember he looked good, right? Or was that the...
He lost to Sean O'Malley, and then he looked good against Cejudo. Wait, no, the Cejudo one was eye poke.
It was controversy. Yeah, the eye poke, where he was winning, but...
Then he lost to Piotr Jan, and then Chris Gutierrez was his last win. That was in December of 23.
Yeah, he needs this one. I think he can get it. But yeah, you definitely need this win.
Yeah, this is one he has to take.
Yeah.
Can't afford to. Where's he at in the rankings? He's number 5. Figueiredo is 7. Ayman Zahabi is number 6. Why is that? Okay. Yeah. Song can't afford to fuck this up. Oh, that's all we got on the docket, though. Anything more for UFC Macau?
It's a nice little card, diversifying.
Yeah, I mean, it's no Waffle House card, but I mean, it'll do. It'll hold us over.
All right, so we're heading into UFC Macau weekend. Anything more to add? Parting words?
Kind of a slow news week here, but sometimes no news is good news. We've got a lot of really exciting fights coming up. Really looking forward to the UFC 250 Freedom card, and there's a lot of other stuff that's coming up down the pipe. So just hang on, we'll get to it.
Yeah. There's some better stuff on the horizon. There's actually some huge stuff on the horizon. But yeah, this is a solid one. It's definitely one to at least catch the replays. There'll probably be some good highlights. But yeah, it should be fun.
All right, that's it for this edition of the Ultimate Effin' Casuals. We'll see you on the other side of Macau.
Take care.